Welcome to Wicso episode 18. I'm still kinda sick, by the way. My voice has improved incredibly. Probably because I'm in a bed right now. Firstly, the, the Baltic country expand into here, and same with the Ukrainians, but they expand more eastward. And of course in Poland, which becomes a new frontier. The Hungarians move westward, reaching into Austria. And colonizing Bohemia. While the nomadic empire sees new opportunities in the Great Steppe, so it quickly expands and subjugates these tribes under their Khagan. No longer are they ruled by petty khans, but by Khagans. They don't move in here because this area is very mountainous. This is Afghanistan, Tajikistan, and Kyrgyzstan. While over here we see China, dominating and expanding its area with the Yangtze, and then quickly move on into here to central China and expand even more. While the Korean trade empire moves deeper into inland Korea, and so the Korean trade empire colonizes South Korea. Then they move up this area near Beijing. And then they reach Shandong. Along with that, Chinese troops move south and expand their territories with frontiers and other areas. After all, there aren't official borders currently. I mean, this is like the Iron Age, basically. After all, the Bronze Age has ended in the earlier episodes. Or did it? The Middle East is basically on collapse as the Great Middle Eastern War made the red team broke, the yellow team broke, the brown team broke, the blue team broke, and also unpopular. And so we could see a wave of revolutions, but that will not be happening. Instead, we will have the Persia-Indian split. If we look at both areas' populations, we can see that there are more people in India. So the government will most likely favor India for taxes and things. But since these are not, since this is an incredibly corrupt and the government on the verge of collapse, they're just not gonna do that. So many parts of the nobility revolt and they claimed themselves part of a new Indian empire. This in or at no, this is the Indus Valley Empire. The Indus Valley Empire quickly moves and claims most of the Indus areas around the Indus River. Some revolts decide to join the Indus Valley country, but the trade posts do remain loyal as they're basically trade posts and are dependent on the blue team for defense. The blue team is able to protect many naval cities with their great and most fortunate navy. But that doesn't mean anything to the north and this peninsula in India, like we're right near Mumbai. So this area is completely captured. And this will result in this. So since naval areas and many refugees come to Persia, the blue team economy actually becomes stable instead of collapsing as as several million migrants move out into the by this point it's a demilitary dictatorship with the king as a figurehead. So yeah, we have basically feudal Japan in it with trade posts in Persia. These are more like tribal confederations instead of empires but there are many oppositions to them. Firstly, one of them is the Jama is a new tribal confederation known as the known as the known as the Stark Yellow Confederation or the North Germanic Confederation. It's mainly formed against the Baltic colonization, and with its way higher population than the Hungary. In Hungary at its start, it can found multiple cities. So North Germany becomes this massive trade hub of ideologies and ideas, with it basically becoming with its confederation basically forming trade deals and making it important it as it moves into Gaul. As you can see, many tribal confederations in history okay, I need to change this color. Were incredibly brutal, and this timeline and this time and this is still humans we're talking about. Tribal confederations are still basically 90 tribes united to kill other tribes. That's basically tribal confederations. In the long term, I mean, you can look at the Iroquois, but most of the tribal confederations quickly collapsed due to different interests. But the Germans quickly move into France. The Alps are independent and are basically untouchable by this point. And the Romans see their main rivals as the Carthaginians. The Carthaginians, who have established trade routes with these with these countries, tribes, are doing their best to protect these tribes. The Alps are finally colonized. So northern Spain and France stay under Sicilian influence. Sicilian or even North African by this point, as a lot of people that claim to be Sicilian are just North African by this point. So by this is like the early Iron Age. We see since all of these governments are broke, any tribe could move in and quickly take over them, or even the Lime Tea, which is just a small country which is a buffer state between the Yellow and the Egyptian teams, could rise up in this interregnum of sorts. And this is of course a spoiler for the next second 6-9. As Lime Team troops move quickly up into the Syria. As you can see, this causes basically the Yellow Team to enter a second collapse, as they're basically pushed into Anatolia. This makes them but seeking revenge, the Yellow Team launches a war against the Red Team. The war ends really quickly, as the Red Team is basically just an army with a state, and the army has no funding. So this leads to some tribe, like here, some tribe decide in a war decides to unite, formed mainly out of escaped slaves. They march into Red Team territory, seeking to take over it and establish their version of the Red Team, under them as the leaders. So they launched this tribal migration, and the Yellow Team, which has basically recovered, marches in. This causes the Red Team to be on its last breath. The post-war period is one with the dissolution of an army with a state. We see the tribal confederation establishing control over the Red Team. This mighty tribal confederation in southern Mesopotamia has control over the Red Team. So let's move to the diplomacy layer. This layer has been only used for vassals, but I'm gonna use it for my group, for basically oppressed groups. For example, the Red Team is actually this new Red Team is actually an Arabian migrant is actually just a bunch of nomads from down south, which you can see in this former tribal, and then this color establishing a government over here, and this is represented with this means minority rule or migration. The blue team is finally able to retake a large chunk of their home, and of course their home city and the original capital is still lost though,